Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, hi, I'm Dana. I upload new videos at least once a week, and usually there's something tea related. Today, I'm going to do a tea recipe for you. DAVIDStea posted a recipe for a Thai iced tea, and me and my mom are obsessed with Thai iced tea. So I was really excited to see one of my favorite tea brands posting a recipe for one of my favorite things to drink. So I'm gonna try to follow DAVIDStea's recipe and see if I can recreate that Thai iced tea here at home. So first, let's just go through the ingredients. And the first thing they called for was 4 perfect spoons of their Kenyan Tinderette tea. So if you know me, you know I'm not much of a black tea drinker. I definitely prefer like my greens and my oolongs. So when I saw this recipe, I was like, well, okay, I gotta go to DAVIDStea and pick up some Kenyan Tinderette. So I went to my local DAVIDStea and they didn't have it. It was a really busy day too, so there were a lot of people in the store. I saw that Kenyan Tinderette was nowhere on the wall, nowhere on the counters, nowhere to be found. So instead of just waiting in the store and settling for something else, I decided I would see what I have at home, and hopefully I had some kind of black tea here I could use, because we did get a few like wedding gifts that were tea. So I knew at like the very least I would have some kind of English breakfast tea I could use, but then I came home and took a look at this wedding breakfast tea I got from one of my mom's friends, and I looked at the side of it and it says our wedding breakfast blend uses bright and brisk Kenyan, the country chosen for the royal proposal, teas from the east of the Central Highlands with traditional robust Assam. So it's just a plain black tea, and it does have Kenyan tea in it as well. So I'm hoping to get that really strong, awesome, like Kenyan Tinderette type flavor out of this tea. And it comes in tea bags. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to use 4 of these instead of 4 perfect spoons. So it looks like it's very small pieces, and the Kenyan Tinderette is very small pieces as well, which makes for a really nice strong cup of tea. So I think these will work just fine for our Thai iced tea today. So I'm gonna put 4 of these to the side. Next ingredient is 2 cups of water, which I have my heart-shaped measuring cup, and I will measure that out when we get to that step. 1 star anise. I was able to get these in bulk at Whole Foods. One like container of them was like $12, but they did have them in bulk, so I bought 3 of them so I could recreate this recipe if it comes out good. So I got 1 of these guys. They're so pretty. They're such a fun shape, these guys. And they smell really good too, so I'll set that to the side with our tea bags. 2 cardamom pods, which I could not find at Whole Foods, not even in one of the little spice jars. They didn't have it in bulk or anywhere else. So I did buy cardamom seeds, which I'm gonna return because I came home, I looked at all my teas and was like, which tea can I pick out some cardamom pods from? So I grabbed some out of my Alpine Punch, and I need 2 of them, so I'll put 2 to the side. 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, which I of course already had. 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. We need 4 teaspoons of sweetened condensed milk. 1/4 cup of evaporated milk. And then we'll just need some ice, which I'm gonna do at the last step so we don't have like a cup of melting ice while we are getting all the ingredients together. Step 1, in a small pot, combine 2 cups of water, star anise, cardamom, cinnamon, and bring to a simmer over medium-low heat for 5 minutes. Our star anise, our cardamom in the pot, our cinnamon, let's measure out our 1/8 of a teaspoon. The smallest I have is a 1/4 teaspoon, so I'm just gonna eyeball it, hopefully get close to half of that. If it's a little extra cinnamony, I'd say that's okay though, right? So I'll just sprinkle that right into our pot. Then I'm gonna grab my 2 cups of water, toss it in here, and I will meet you guys at the stove. Okay, so the next thing it says to do is to bring to a simmer over medium heat for 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and simmer this, and I guess you guys don't really need to see the whole time it's simmering, so I will get back with you once this is simmering. Okay, we are back. We have about 1.5 minutes left of simmering. So it has a real nice froth on top. You can still see the star anise, some cardamom, But what I notice is the nice froth and also the beautiful color. It has a really pretty, like almost ambery type color. And if you've had Thai iced tea, you've seen like it's like an orangey color. Once it's combined with like the condensed and evaporated milk, it's definitely gonna have the perfect Thai iced tea color based on how it looks now. And we haven't even put in the actual like tea leaves yet. I'd say we're in really good shape already. Then we're just gonna pull it off the heat and then I will meet you back at the table. Our step 2 is remove from heat and add loose leaf tea and vanilla and then steep for a minimum of 15 minutes. So we have to add a 1/4 teaspoon of our vanilla extract. Ooh, I bet this would have been really good with like actual vanilla bean, but for now we use what we have. I'm gonna add that loose tea right in. That is the bag that I cut open. And now I'm just gonna put these little guys right over the sides of the pot. I'm gonna tie them together just so it'll be even easier when the time comes to strain them. Okay, now what we do is we wait for 15 minutes. I'll see you guys after 15 minutes has passed. Okay, 15 minutes has passed. We are good to strain. It looks good. It's a nice dark color. It says to strain into a measuring cup, but I'm not really sure why it has to be a measuring cup, so I'm just using a regular cup. But I'm gonna take my tea bags out just to make it a little easier. And I'm just going to put a little infuser in there so that'll catch all of the stuff from going through. And I'm gonna carefully pour it right in. A lot of those like tea ground things, like the little tiny tea leaves that I was worried about, did get caught on the side of the pan, which is awesome for me because we won't risk it going through. And then, oh, it looks like it did. The infuser did catch a lot of it as well. So hopefully we won't get like a mouthful of anything weird. And this is how much we have. This is a really like hefty amount of tea in my opinion. I think I can actually make 2 cups with this amount. I'm not sure if it's meant for 2 cups, but I know we're adding evaporated milk and condensed milk, so maybe I can make a second one. In a large glass, add 2 teaspoons of condensed milk and 1 cup of steeped tea. So since we put 2 cups of water in the pot, it does look like we are gonna be able to make 2 out of this. So that's awesome news. I can save it and make one later for my husband when he gets home. He'll add 2 teaspoons of condensed milk. My husband is from Asia. He's from the Philippines, so his family recipes have a lot of condensed milk in them as well. His grandma is famous for her flan. She makes an awesome flan for all of the family parties, and that has like egg yolks and condensed milk. It's super caramely and delicious. And then they have like a fruit salad that's coated in condensed milk. It's a super popular ingredient at our family parties. And I'm just gonna measure out 2 teaspoons. It's so thick. Okay, right in the bottom of the cup. And it says to mix it well too, so I hope it'll combine nice because it doesn't seem like my tea mixture is super hot anymore since it's been off the heat for over 15 minutes, probably closer to like 20, 25 minutes. This is how 2 teaspoons look in the bottom of the cup. It's barely anything really. I'm gonna I think it is actually a good idea to get it on the sides of the cup because it'll combine a little nicer. I'm not gonna measure out a cup of the tea. I think we're safe to just use about half of what's in here because it's 2 cups and we need 1. All right, so we're about even here. Do a little more. And then this is for Gerald when he gets home. Ooh, and I'm making peanut noodles for dinner too. So it's gonna be like, you know, not authentic Thai, but it's gonna be a really cool, like hopefully really good Thai inspired dinner. My whisk doesn't fit all the way in the bottom, so I'm gonna go grab a spoon. Okay, and we wanna mix really well. And it seems to be making like sort of a big deal about the fact that this should be crushed ice. I don't have an ice maker at my house, so I'm gonna be using regular ice, but I'm gonna see if I can kind of like mash it with like maybe a knife and see if I can get sort of some nice crushed pieces of ice. Then we just top it with our condensed milk. And then step 4 is add crushed ice and top each glass with evaporated milk. For a layered look, coat the glass with condensed milk, then carefully add ice and pour tea before topping with evaporated milk. Okay, so this last step about getting like that layered look is sort of confusing to me. So I do want to try to achieve that like cute layered look that I see at restaurants all the time. So let's see if we can kind of break it down. For a layered look, coat the glass with condensed milk, then carefully add ice and pour tea before topping with evaporated milk. It's confusing to me because like, would you do this before you would combine the tea with the condensed milk? I guess let's just go from here. So it says to coat the inside of the glass. Oh, I know I'm gonna end up with way too much. So I'm just kind of trying to get the inside of the glass coated with this stuff. It's not pretty right now, but if it works and it layers how I'm picturing, how it always looks at the restaurants, it'll be well worth it. So I'm gonna carefully add in some ice. I'm gonna try to get some small pieces because it does call for the crushed ice. So I'm gonna see what I can do about that. I don't think I can like safely get these cubes broken down, so it's not gonna really be crushed ice. I'm sure it won't make too much of a difference. I wish we had an ice maker at our apartment, but our refrigerator doesn't have one, and to buy one independently, I mean, they're big and we don't have a whole lot of counter space, but also they're expensive. Okay, so we're about halfway full of ice. Before we pour it in, I'm gonna open our evaporated milk. I feel like I'm really bad at opening cans. For someone who's 26, I feel like it's something I never really mastered. But I guess as long as I am getting the job done, that's all that matters here. So I'm gonna pour this back in. Hopefully we get that beautiful layered look I'm imagining. And now it just says to top it off with the evaporated milk. It's pretty light in color. I think looking back, it probably didn't want me to combine it with the condensed milk and then add more condensed milk to coat the sides. I'm not really sure. That part of the recipe confused me a little bit, but I'm sure it'll taste just as good. And then top it with the evaporated milk. And no layering at all, honestly. Like, this is not a layered look whatsoever, and it's very light in color compared to what I've seen at restaurants. But let's just go ahead and taste it, because the taste is really the most important part. I feel like I might have done a bit too much of the milks because I'm not getting the tea as much as I'd like. I mean, it tastes like Thai iced tea, but I think if I did get this at a restaurant, I would be a little upset because it is so strong in milk flavor and not so like tea based. So I'm gonna try adding a little more tea. So I added a little more tea to the top. And that makes it a little better. I think I like the condensed milk, but I don't like the evaporated milk. So I think later when I try it again and make it for Gerald, I'm gonna put it in a smaller cup so that the ratio is better, because this is how much tea I have left now. So if I put it in like a little glass and I add the same amount of condensed milk but less of the evaporated milk, I think that might be the way to go. Also, when I have it in restaurants, it's a lot sweeter, so I might even add a little bit of like sugar or agave or maybe even like a stevia when I make it later, just to up that sweetness a little bit and make it more like what we're used to when we go out to eat. But I mean, it's nothing bad. I don't think it's like a terrible recipe, but I think it could be improved upon. Maybe the tea I used wasn't strong enough. Maybe the Kenyan Tinderette is the way to go. I mean, I feel like the David's tea recipes, sometimes you do have to take it with a grain of salt and sort of like, you know, experiment around with it for a little while. I don't know if you guys remember the golden milk fiasco where I tried to make a golden milk latte and it turned out more like a curry. So I've sort of learned that the recipes aren't always like perfect, and they're not terrible, but I just haven't ever, besides the ice cream one, I loved the matcha ice cream. But besides that, I haven't really tried anything and been like, it's perfect, I wouldn't change a thing. Ooh, you know what? The more I'm drinking it and it's combining, the better it's getting. I still do wish that the tea flavor was the strongest part and not like the milks and stuff. But I mean, yeah, it's good. I think the longer I let it sit, the better it'll get. I'm gonna refrigerate that little bit of concentrated tea so we don't have to use as much ice later either. So it'll just be a really concentrated, awesome Thai iced tea. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed my attempt at David's Tea's recipe for Thai iced tea. I'm sure I didn't do it perfectly. I would have liked to see that layered look. If you've tried this recipe and made this tea, or if you've made Thai iced tea from a different recipe, let me know what has worked, what hasn't worked. Like, I'm probably gonna look up some other recipes because I have the ingredients in the house, so I might as well use them, right? If you've made Thai iced tea before, or even like got it in a restaurant and you have a picture of it on your Instagram, tag me in your picture and I'll go give it a like. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.